party ready, I should say, today, and here with ideas on how to set up the bar, which is very important, especially to that last guest, Christopher. Please welcome Sebastian Sentner.
Thank you.
And one of the things I always say before you're having a party, you got to go into your ice machine. If you got one in your refrigerator or your ice cube trays, or make sure you have enough ice. But you have to dump it out the day before and make new ice because it gets stale in your refrigerator.
This is Marilyn's pet peeve. She brings ice to your house if she doesn't know you well to make sure that the ice is fresh.
Yeah, well, I learned that from a friend of mine's wife, and I bring a baggie full of fresh ice just in case. Just in case.
We should ask Charles about that one, how to handle that one if you're the host.
That's right.
Somebody shows up with a bag of ice.
So just in case it's stale.
No, you're right,
so the biggest summer bar trend is?
Tiki bars. So we're getting like they started last year with Hawaiian cocktails and tiki bars, etc. Now this year it's just gone nuts. So you got all these restaurants and bars across the country that are sort of doing a lot of stuff around tiki.
Yeah.
So in this case we brought in a tiki bar. This came from a company called Divine Furniture Rentals.
Cool.
So we just rented it for the day. But if you're not going to go to that full extent, the other thing is you can just bring in elements like the trays. The bamboo trays are great. You put those all across your bar. You serve your drinks on them, and you can create sort of a feel with other things besides building the whole bar.
Okay. So when I think of tiki, we're going to go through flavors and everything like that. I really think of the 60s.
Yeah, you do think of the 60s, but we're seeing, we're seeing a resurrection of cocktails. We had a lot of bourbon cocktails last year.
Yeah.
So really, alcohol and cocktails are cyclical, and bar is cyclical. You see a lot of things come back in different variations. And this year we are seeing a lot of retro. We're seeing the tiki. We're going to show you some ideas with champagne cocktails, which is, they're always on point, always trendy.
And we're going to talk about lighting too.
We're going to talk about lighting. So we're going to start with lighting because lighting is really, really important. It's the kind of thing that people don't think about until it starts to get dark, and all of a sudden you're scrambling around looking for tea lights.
Yeah.
So today we have a company called ESC Lighting that actually sent these lights for us, and they're fantastic. They're rechargeable lights.
Look at these
now we're getting the real.
Aren't they cool?
This is what's really cool about them. So first we can change the color, right?
Yeah.
And what's really nice about them too is we can put them on this candle mode. So when you put them on candle, they kind of flicker a little bit, etc. So they got a bit more of a feel. They're 100% waterproof. And they're rechargeable. So I use these in my backyard. They're fantastic. And rechargeable lighting is the way to go nowadays. You can charge it, and then when your party's ready to go...
You don't worry about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't worry about it. That's fantastic. I like that a lot.
So now that we've got the lighting done, we're going to move on to some drinks.
Let's do it.
Okay, we're going to start with... Yeah, we go. Okay, wait. Don't get too excited. We're starting with non-alcoholic. We're going to move to alcoholic in a minute, then everybody can get excited.
Okay.
So non-alcoholic, we always want to have something, especially, you saw how humid it is these days, and it's going to get hot over the summer, and we're going to enjoy it while it lasts, but we want to have something that's refreshing. So first of all, we're thinking of non-alcoholic drinks. We take sparkling water, and we mix it. We created sort of like a fresh juice bar here. So you can add your own fresh juices. Here we took 3 different types, a little bit of soda water, sparkling water, and then you do your skewers of fruit. There's 2 reasons for this. Number 1, we want to keep everybody hydrated, and we want to have alternatives for people who are driving or if there's kids there, etc.
Right.
So now that we've done that...
Now you did pineapple, guava, and mango.
Yes.
Delicious.
So we're doing it, again, very tropical because we're keeping in the theme of Hawaii and tiki and everything else.
Yeah.
But now we're going to get to what is my most exciting, this is like my thing for the summer. We're super excited about it. Everybody like champagne?
Yeah.
All right, good. I don't have to ask you. I know Marilyn loves champagne.
I don't like champagne. I don't like it, but if you guys like it, let's do it.
We try frozen cocktails, things that are infused with anything that's frozen for the summer is always difficult to do with alcohol because alcohol doesn't freeze so well. And so what we've done here is we've started out with a little bit of champagne and mint, and we've made popsicles. So we did pineapple popsicles, and put a couple of these in here. I'll put that there. And then we did some strawberry basil popsicles.
Oh my gosh.
And what we're doing here is kind of fun because we can, instead of actually putting the alcohol in the popsicles, this way it freezes really well, and you can actually do a bunch of different flavors. It infuses the champagne, so you got a bit of a champagne cocktail flavor. And do you want to try one?
Sure.
Do I have to ask you twice or no? No.
So what you do is you freeze this. You got all the recipes are on.
All the recipes are on your website.
So because this is on here, and it's melting into the champagne,
it's going to infuse the champagne, but also it's great because your popsicle doesn't drip, or if it does, it's got somewhere to drip. There you go. There we go. You know exactly how to get into them.
That's really good.
So this is the thing for the summer. I think we might as well just end the segment there. We'll be fine, right?
We're friends. I can do that in front of them. There you go. I'll put it right here. That is immediately it infuses the champagne. Delicious.
And the nice thing about this too is if you do have kids at the party, then you can do the same thing. Just put a little bit of ginger ale. Because there's no alcohol in the popsicles, you can make non-alcoholic version. Just make sure not to mix them up.
Hey, now here's the thing I want to tell you too. That mint at the bottom looks pretty, but that adds the flavor too.
It adds the flavor, and that's why we put the mint in earlier. And the trick about mint, when you're using mint for cocktails, is take the mint and smack it against something first.
Right.
It brings the flavor out, and then it infuses even more.
Okay, let's talk about sorbet fruit cups. Great for kids and adults.
Yes, this is a fun idea. So this is more in the dessert. It's also refreshing. This is something that we used to have in France when we were kids called citron and orange givraise. And what we do is we hollow out the orange. We take the orange, we can mix it in with orange juice or puree it and turn it into something. You can make it into gelato if you're really ambitious. And then we fill the tops with the gelato. So you've got an orange gelato, you got lemon. You can do all types of flavors. You can do lime. You can do tons of stuff like this. Very refreshing. And what's nice is that this is obviously all biodegradable too. So it's all going to go in the composter and you're good to go.
Look how pretty that is too. So when you are doing what you're doing for the show today, you're displaying it on ice, like you're putting it on a good
We took it.
Of
this
ice,
is actually, so it's the same idea as this. It's a little pedestal. We just flipped it over. I'm a big fan of using stuff you have around the house. So we're using traditional wine glasses that we had. We didn't have to get special glasses. These were a little bit special, but and this was actually a container that we used just to sort of prop stuff up. So if you've got anything, even a vase, for example, you can take a shallow vase, fill it with ice, perfect to hold these kind of things.
Delicious. I like, where'd you get those tiki cups? Those are so fun.
We got these from I think we bought them online actually.
Really?
This is what's neat about trends, is that when you see a trend come up, I'm not a big fan of stocking up on too many different things, because you get this big inventory and we have, disposables, stuff that you never use again. But if you're talking about something highly specialized, we might only use these for this season, but splurge a bit and buy them.
Why not? They're so much fun. What a beautiful job, huh? You did a great job.
Thank you.
Way to go, Sebastian. Okay, now, here is the great news. You're all going to go home with an opal egg set from ESE Lighting, valued at over $100. You're going to have fun with that. Thank you. See you at the end of the show. We'll be right back, everybody. Stay with us.
Up next, is your patio ready for entertaining this season? Andrew Pike brings the makeover magic to this space. Don't miss the reveal.